A little while ago, Eloheim and Veronica were talking about what it would be like to live a life that had no baggage and no static. A life where fear was only present in situations where you were actually in peril. Where fear is no longer a part of conversations or discussions or dreams that don't involve peril. And what it would be like to live from that place, where everything is examined not based on the survival instinct, not based on whether or not you're going to survive it or have enough food or have enough clothes or have a place to live, but instead everything is evaluated based on the fantastic opportunity for exploration, growth, and evolution it represents, whether that's finding a screw or anything else. What if there was no resistance to the now except in cases of peril? What would it be like? What would being human be like if you lived where fear was not involved unless you were in peril? And even then, it wasn't the kind of fear you experience now. The kind of a fear you experience now is the fear that says, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if? Even the fear of being in peril is, this is, this is, this is, this is. Sometimes peril makes you be in the moment more than anything else. Because, well, you probably won't be thinking about anything else if someone's pointing a knife at you. You certainly won't be doing your grocery shopping in your head. So what if fear just were off the table? And instead we had this is, whatever this is. What if it was always this is? What if there was nothing other than this is? What if your entire existence revolved around this is? When your entire life revolves around this is, you don't resist is because you don't imagine a moment that it is not present in. Meaning, using your example because it's the only one we've got right now, you lose the screw in the grass. The fact that the screw is now in the grass is completely the is that you're in. The idea that the screw was once not in the grass is not a reality anymore. The fact that the screw is in the grass is the only experience you're having. The notion of being in resistance to that would require that another state was preferred or even known about. Who's to say that screws come in little boxes from the hardware store? Who's to say they don't just pop up out of the grass and you feel around for them? Who's to say that's not the normal way screws transmit themselves to you for being screwed in things? When you don't resist is, then is becomes a bit more fantastical. Stops being the way it's always been. And the possibility that screws just pop up out of the ground becomes, well, it seems to be true in this moment. Is. What if is? What if it is just this way all the time? What if that's just it? Every single reason that you resist the moment can be boiled down into a fear and probably hung on the hook of the survival instinct anyway. What if every bit of resistance to every moment you examine from the lens of how is the survival instinct trying to tell me to skip this? What if in that moment your compassion for self extends so profoundly that you recognize that every bit of resistance you have to the moment is simply the survival instinct doing its best to love you in the only way it knows how? And the best love you can give for yourself is to acknowledge that very truth. What if in each moment that you find any resistance in you, you're able to say, thank you, survival instinct, for reminding me how much you love me. And then, just as you would a small child or a pet, you embrace it with the love that you've always wanted it to offer, so that you can quiet it enough to see this moment with new eyes. What if you did that? Your survival instinct is just asking you to double check that you think it's okay to proceed. Double check this moment. Well, isn't that just another way of saying choose? The survival instinct is just reminding you to be in level 4. It's interpreted often as reminding you that you're in level 2. But the reality is, it's just saying, double check me, but I think we're in danger. And you say, oh, thanks for asking me to double check, because we're actually not. Oh, okay. You do that often enough, the survival instinct will get a better sense of what it needs to alert you to. This is that whole not telling your physical world things you don't want it to act upon. And when that happens in a default state, like Eloheim says, when you wake up in the morning in level whatever they're working on with you guys, when you wake up in the morning and you're able to have the survival instinct alert you to things that are actually perilous rather than simply changes, then we can do level 7 in earnest. So when the survival instinct encourages you to resist the moment, thank it for loving you, comfort it in its revelation of its fears, and offer it your truth, your accurate assessment of the situation, which is driven by your fascination for exploration and evolution.